My name is Dr. Martin Rogers. I used to be a head of department in Technological University Dublin. I worked as an academic for 30 years. I also authored a textbook called Highway Engineering, which is still in its fourth edition and sells, I think, more than any highway engineering book in the UK and Ireland. And I am now a retired academic, but I practice full-time, working for some of the leading consultancies in Dublin.
Brilliant, thank you, Martin. So what have you thought of the presentation so far today? Has anything stood out that you'd like to comment on?
I think that the information on AI is really important because it's definitely an area that we are going to be moving into with trip generation and in general with transport planning, traffic assessments, mobility management, all those areas. And I think an awful lot of that analysis involves the gathering of information, and I think AI can really help us in the gathering of that information. So I found that really useful. Also the decide and provide, although maybe it lacked a bit of detail, but it is a very interesting topic and one that's becoming more and more important as we go into sort of the whole fossil fuel debate and trying to minimize the amount of car usage. But I think TRICS has a big role to play in this because whereas I suppose originally what we all used TRICS for was for the trip generation of car-based travel. Now the database information gives you a huge variety of information. In fact, I use it as much within the mobility management analysis as I would for traffic assessment, because the whole idea of looking at the modal splits using the multimodal surveys, there's a huge volume of information in that. And you can compare that maybe with your census results that are available locally to see exactly what are the trip patterns going to and from your development. So, very useful.
That's an excellent answer. So TRICS is entering a new era of innovation and development, especially when it comes to the vision-led transport planning approach. What would you like to see TRICS do to further integrate these ideas?
I'm not so sure about the scenario building idea where you sort of have a built-in decrease in modal splits and an increase in the sustainable ones going forward, because I don't know how acceptable that is going to be to the planning authorities. But I think it's a useful thing. I think the provide and decide and provide is way, by a far way, the greatest and the most the obvious way to go forward, rather than the predict and provide that we used to go through. But I think the useful thing about coming with the greater respect to Ireland is that we tend to be a little bit behind what goes on in the UK. So another useful aspect of coming here and hearing what's going on is that I know that is the policy areas that are at the moment live here will be live in Ireland. I mean, we are very much into sustainable travel, and modal split targets very much reflect that with all the sort of urban-based planning authorities. But decide and provide isn't really a term that's used much in Ireland. So it has to, it's inevitable it will be, but it's interesting to see how things unfold here, because in terms of policy as well, the Department for Transport tends to be, again, their thinking tends to be, probably because they're bigger, they have more resources, they tend to be a little bit more advanced than the Irish, although the Irish ones are very good. But I think that's the useful thing of coming over here.
Yeah, okay. So TRICS 8 is going to be a huge redesign and upgrade, and it'll be launched in March next year. Are you looking forward to this update to our software?
The thing about it is that every update to the software improves the quality of what's provided, and I think the whole thing about TRICS is it has to keep moving forward, because otherwise it just stagnates and it loses relevance. So it's vital that it keeps moving forward, and it always has. And in terms of the research that has supported that, I've been involved to a very small extent in that. But I think I always look forward to an update, because it always improves the user experience.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed
Thank you
the
very much.
interview,
Yeah,
and I
it's
hope you're
grand.
enjoying the event, and have a good rest of the day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.